This unit that we are about to start is called Meaningful Objects, Personal Still Life. That is the unit title of the project you're about to begin. Write that at the very top of your blank page in your sketchbook. This should be a new page. Meaningful Objects, Personal Still Life. Then you want to think to yourself, well, what does meaningful mean? You also want to think about, what is a still life? Have you heard of that word before? A still life is a drawing or painting that shows non-living objects. Now, sometimes you will see a plant in there, but for the most part, these are still objects that do not move. You're going to be choosing objects that are important or special to you to create an artwork about. Anytime I present a lesson, I like to do it through the lens of the creative process. That's something that is ongoing when you are creating art and thinking like an artist. You observe, you research, you reflect, you connect ideas to other ideas, and then you're creating. And this process keeps going around and around and around. Today, we're focusing on making observations and connections, thinking critically, and identifying 3D forms. We'll also be thinking about the elements of art, and eventually you'll be drawing some forms. So let's discuss. I want you to find an object near you. It can be any object, so don't think about it. It should be random. Grab it and hold it in your hands. Now close your eyes or look away. And I want you to think almost like your fingers have brains. And what I mean by that is you're going to touch and feel the object and only use your sense of touch to describe the object. Think about the texture. Is it soft? Is it hard? Is it bumpy? Think about the form. Is it round? Is it boxy? Does it remind you of a form you already know? Now you can use your sense of hearing. Can you tap the side of your object? What does it sound like? Is it hollow? Is it solid? Tap it on the table. Is it fragile? Does it make a clink noise or a vibration, a bouncy sound? Okay, now open your eyes. Describe the color of that object. What shapes do you see? What lines do you see? Is it light? Is it dark? That would be the value. All right. So now that you've really examined and observed this object, think about this. Is this object meaningful to you? Why or why not? Now, it might be, but it probably isn't if it's random, right? If it is meaningful to you, then you are probably thinking about a memory, or maybe you're thinking about an experience, or maybe even someone who gave it to you, or who owns it. All right, so now you're going to write down under that unit title our main essential question. What makes an object meaningful or special? This is your own personal definition for what a meaningful or special object is. When we discussed this on Zoom, and I tried to record it, but apparently I did it incorrectly. So hopefully I'll get it down soon, but that's why I'm making this video for you. They were saying things like, my object reminds me of someone I know, or my object was given to me by someone else. Or maybe it makes you think of a memory or an experience or a person that you know or care about. Maybe it's something you use all the time. Those could be good answers for what makes an object meaningful or special, but I want you to put your answer. What is your definition? That's going to help you choose objects for your personal still life. So take a moment to write that down. If you need to pause it, please do. Pause the video, please do. Later, we're going to answer these questions, but you don't need to write them down right now. We're going to explore what might objects say about who we are, and what we can learn about others by knowing what objects are special to them. Now we're ready for our bubble map. You are going to, on the rest of that whole page, create a bubble map coming up with the objects that you want to have in your still life. I have attached a picture of my example. Basically, you'll put meaningful objects in the center and then write objects that are meaningful to you around it. Think about size, shape, and texture and describe the object. Tell us why it's meaningful as well. Happy art making!